Hello and welcome to this tutorial about writing a works cited entry. My name is Mr. Colin. I'll be your guide today. So if you're following along, please go ahead and pull out an article to work with or a book to work with. Then pull up a web browser, and what I'd encourage that you do is go to your search bar and type in dianahacker.com/resdoc. And that's going to reroute us to another website, but that is the website that I remember. So dianahacker.com/resdoc. You can also Google and look for Purdue OWL MLA, and what that'll do is also give you a lot of information about how to do formatting. From there, we're working in MLA with the humanities, so we're going to find the drop-down menu for documenting sources and go to MLA list of works cited. Now, I like this website because this is the people who make the rules. So we can go to this handy drop-down menu, and you can see there are many different types of sources for different kinds of books, for different kinds of articles in magazines, or websites, audio and visual files, and other types of documents. So no matter if you're conducting an interview or reading a book or watching a movie, don't think that you don't have to cite it because there isn't a way to cite it. There is a way to cite it, and you can find it here. So I think most of you will be working from a short work from a website. So you can see we're down on that entry here. It has a description, a list of what we need, and then an example right here. So what I'd recommend doing is just going straight from the example and using your information to make your own works cited page. So let's say that we're doing this for the first time. What we'd want to do is look at our first step. We have the author's last name and first name. In our article, the author's name is Ben Child. So in my works cited entry, I would write Child, comma, Ben, period. Then we can see that the title comes next, the title of the article, which is in quotation marks with a period. Now you'll see the title of mine here. I put in quotation marks, Star Wars Episode 7 is Yavin 4 storyline, fact or fiction. And this title ends with a question mark, so I'll put that there instead of a period. End it with quotation marks. You can see all my capitalization is exactly as it appears in the title. So looking at the next item in this example entry, we see is the title of the website. And we often can find that by looking at the top. We have The Guardian here. So I'll put that in italics next. Oops. The Guardian, period. Looking at what comes next is the sponsor. Now, one way to remember the sponsor is that it's often the same as the title of the website, but often it can be different as well. So instead of looking at the top, we're going to look at the very bottom for the sponsor. And here we go. This copyright belongs to Guardian News and Media Limited. So I'm going to just go ahead and copy and paste that in here for me to remember. But I'm going to type it up here myself to make sure that the font and everything is the same as the rest of the entry. So Guardian News and Media Limited. And I believe that after that we have a comma and then the update date. Now if there isn't a date, you write ND as it appears here. If there is a date, however, you can see you're going to write the day, the month, and then the year. So my article was December 19th, 2012. So put that right here. We're going to have a comma, 19 December 2012, period. So that's just like the date here, comma, the date, period. Then we're going to write the word web. If this were a book, you'd write book. And what that does is it really saves us the time of having to put in the URL here. That would take up a lot of space, and instead we just know that we need to go on the internet and find an author or title that match these. So in ours, we just need to write the word web, period, capitalized, and then the date of access. And so that's the date that we found this information. Today's date is 7th of February 2013, and a period. You can see here that the first line goes all the way to the left hand of this document, and the second line is tabbed in once. So it's kind of the reverse of writing a paragraph. So that's the same thing that I'm going to do here. Go to the end of my first line, hit enter, tab in once, and there's my citation for the article. Now some articles that you might run into won't have an author. So for example, this document from the CDC has a title, it has information, there's just no author. So we don't write no author, we don't forget to write a works cited entry. We can see here that all we do is just not write an author. We just begin with the title of the work, and everything after that is the same. So that's how you would do a basic entry for a website that you're using. It's even easier in some cases to use a database. So let's say that you were using one of the many Gale databases that we have. You found an article that you liked. This one happens to be about George Washington and his first inaugural address. So we'd scroll all the way to the bottom, and then we see it says source citation. Right here is our works cited page. You can see it's indented, it has the author, it has the title, everything. You'll notice I did not copy and paste the URL. Again, this is huge and bulky and we don't need it because we already know this is a website, and all this information gives us everything that we need. So we can just copy and paste this source citation and put it in. Now it looks like my formatting was off a little bit. I'd want to make sure that I am tabbing my subsequent lines. But here are some works cited entries that would be exactly accurate. Now in some cases you might be working with some website or another source that doesn't exactly fit one of these categories. You want to find one that matches the best and give as much information as you can. So thanks a lot for your time tuning in this tutorial. I hope it was helpful, and good luck on your research.